Sup guys, the recap of session 3 is finally here. Hopefully you didn't miss me too much since I decided to take my sweet time with the video. It took quite a few weeks to get back to the video, mostly because I was being lazy, but also because life decided to throw some things at me and I had to deal with those things firstly. So what's up? Since it's a new week, new session, surely some kind of plan should be on my mind right now, and you aren't wrong, I did had plans this time around. But before we get to that, let's check out what we have in store today.
Why? Why did you pause that?
To explain a new thing, of course.
Yeah, but I already know who Heartbreaker is, stupid.
Of course they do, I already explained that one. But do they know it's not only Heartbreaker today?
I guess you're right, but you still look dumb, so...
Oh, for goodness sake, let's just get out of here. We all know who Heartbreaker is. A force that cannot be stopped and will strike one way or another. But what if that's changed? What if there was someone who can stop them? Well, let me introduce you to the server's newest hero, a person who has the power to stop Heartbreaker. Heartstopper. Their only mission is to find Heartbreaker and stop them before they could get anyone. Upon succeeding, the Heartbreaker will lose their bond with their current soulmate. But if Heartstopper fails, their punishment is far worse. The game will take all of their lives, one by one, up until there's only one left, dooming not only them, but their soulmate as well. Thanks God I'm neither this time around, right guys? Just because I got neither doesn't mean that Heartstopper and Heartbreaker drama didn't get to me, because oh, it did! And it wasn't good. And while I was yapping away here, you will never guess what happened. Reborn suddenly remembered his true purpose in life, and we, yes we, are so proud of him for that. Anyways, back to what I'm doing here in the background, which is digging a hole. An escape hole, if to be exact. Why, you may ask? Well, some of you may know that me and Krazo, who is my soulmate, still have 6 lives. And usually, those news would be wonderful if you don't account that the fact that the whole server does not have 6 lives. If anything, they have 4 and below. And to make matters even worse, we are teamed up with the crazy red over here. All of that combined, and we are becoming quite a huge target for everyone. Now that we figured this part out, let me just cut things to the more exciting stuff, since we will be definitely back to the hole later on in this episode. Yo, who's that lowly cow standing over here? This cow is one of our only allies and her name is Eloise. I think she came here to hang out, but truth to be told, I have no idea what she's doing here, so that's what I'm sticking with. We all spent some time together, had some fun, up until Krazo asked everyone but me to leave the call. Genuinely, this was the first time so far in the session where I was actually scared. Yet I still obliged, since what other choice did I have? And trust me, the news that she shared with me weren't good.
Everybody gone? Everybody gone? Hoshi, I have bad news. I am the Heartbreaker.
You can clearly tell from my reaction that I was shocked. Immediately after the confession we went inside the house so I could start using some signs, because talking in the chat clearly didn't work out for us, especially in this case. In there, Krazo shared her suspicion about who Heartstopper might be, which was Lucas, one of the members of this SMP and one of the people who really didn't like Reborn, which is... wow, that is definitely what our team needs right now. More targets on our backs. Back to the real time, like a good soulmate I am, I immediately told her about the hole I made and how we can use it to kill someone. And we did already plan to get some people to get to our base beforehand, since I needed help in the wheat field and some people needed to stop dying. So this part is kind of worked out in our favor. By the way, I think I should explain why am I so eagerly helping out right now. Since Heartbreaker, if you remember, will become a soulmate with the person they killed, which means me and her will separate in case she manages to do that. So, funny story actually, I never specified after which session I found out about how Heartbreaker works. Which means I was completely unaware of what will happen if we succeed in this session. We went back outside so I could show her the hole I made, and after getting an approval we started just hanging out together before Eloise and Reborn came back. Unfortunately, our lovely friends were bearing not so great news. Apparently, Lucas, aka one of the most skilled players on the server, was gonna visit our base soon. And to add some spice to this whole situation, those three started telling me about how skilled Lucas was and how many of these kinds of events he won previously. What a great introduction to a player, totally didn't make me shake out of fear in real life. And it's totally not because I'm unskilled bum who can't even defend themselves. Eventually, we just all climbed out onto the roof of our tower and started to look out for the man himself. Reborn even made a little trap, how cute! We stood there for a few more minutes before deciding to go back to the ground since there was no player inside. Here, Reborn decided to make himself a funeral because he didn't believe that he will survive until the next session, which is kind of reasonable now that I think about it. After that, everyone just moved on to do their own stuff, at least until she appeared. That's B, one of my friends on the server. Last session we just really vibed on the Discord VC and decided to be best friends ever since. So this is our first ever interaction inside the game outside the spawn. And I was really excited about it. She stuck around for some time and it was pretty nice, but unfortunately later on she had to leave. At this point I think I should mention that the whole time I was in voice chat with a team called Lamb's Rise Do I Me? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. And this team is Lucas's team. So you can say that I was listening in on their plans, but instead of it being secret, they were just really aware of that. And on the screen you can see that instead of complaining about Reborn like they did before, they suddenly remember that me and Krasor are still on 6 lives. Which is, maybe, one of the totally greatest things that could happen to us, especially judging from the Krasor's reaction. So yeah, pretty soon Unpreventable did ended up happening and he came to our doorstep. Not gonna lie, I actually started shaking in real life because of this. Call me a scaredy cat, but that's my nature and I can't change it. Lucas immediately went asking questions about Heartbreaker, which confirmed our theory about him being a Heartstopper. He also tried threatening us with Lava Bucket, but that didn't end up well because I countered him with Water One. He immediately backed off and decided to snoop around in our base instead. I guess the legendary battle of who was scared more started since he took all of the precautions and ended up making fun of Reborn's trap by saying it won't work, which was really mean by the way. Now that I think about it, he was pretty mean the whole time, like for my first meeting with him it was pretty mean for no reason at all, like that's our first meeting, I didn't do anything to you bro. And while he was there someone died. But that's not relevant right now. Lucas decided to stick around for longer, probably in hopes to find anything, but good luck to him because he's never gonna find the hole. He found the hole and immediately fell into it and didn't die because I put water on the bottom. But now he was sure that one of us was Heartbreaker. Oh well, a wasted kill I guess. But now I had another problem. I needed to convince Lucas that hole had nothing to do with Heartbreaker stuff, and it didn't at the start, okay? So I wasn't exactly lying about this. And at some point, Krasa lagged out, I think, and she fell into the hole too. I waited for them to get back out on the surface, even helped them a bit, and they ended up leaving. Which was actually fine because I returned to doing my own stuff on the base anyways, completely unaware of horrors that will happen soon. In here, you can clearly see me taking damage, which should have alerted me. But instead, my stupid ass thought about whether I will be able to make jump into the puddle down there, or should I take the ladder instead. I ended up taking the risk. And of course I absolutely fumbled it. But it got so much worse so quick. Yeah, I ended up dying. Thanks for noticing. At first glance, it seemed like it was my fault that we died, since I made a jump right before it happened. But after taking a peek at the chat, we can see that it wasn't me who died, it was Krazel. Before any of you jump on the train of thought that it was a bug, let me stop you. That was not a bug again, it was pretty intentional this time around. And let me give you a little spoiler, it was not just once. I was still recovering from shock when we died again. Yep, now you can see that I had nothing to do with it. So let me share what exactly happened on the other side of the Soulbound. After our little hangout with Lucas earlier, he knew exactly who Heartbreaker was. And while Krazel was out to get someone, he decided it was her time. First death was a pure accident. She was running away from him and decided to jump from a high place. Combined with my failed leap of faith, it ended up like it ended up. Second death though was very intentional. Lucas immediately ran to the spawn where she respawned after death and tried to get her with a lava bucket, eventually pushing her down the mountain and getting her. He successfully saved his precious life, yet it costed us our bound. Oh well, it's not that deep, I guess. Since we are still on the same team and we still have Reborn to take care of. And certainly it just can't get any worse, right? It somehow got worse. You know what? This might be the most miserable Minecraft playing session I ever had in my life. Now I am partnerless, childless, teamless. I might just as well log out for the day. At least I got to see other players, I guess, but it's not the greatest occasion. Here is a place where Reborn died. They tried to put him in jail with his soulmate, but it ended up in death.